Hello everyone, welcome back to Vickie's Country Home. It's Saturday before Christmas and I have gotten almost none of my baking and candy making done, so today's probably going to be kind of a marathon. So let's get started. I'm going to make pecan snowball cookies, and these are buttery. They're just really good. You might know them by Mexican wedding cookies. There's several names. I think Russian tea. I don't know. Just they are pecan snowballs. So let's get started. All right, we're gonna put this all in our mixer, and we start out with 1 cup of softened butter. And this has been sitting out for a while, and I'm going to save these butter wrappers. They're so good for buttering dishes, but they're also good when I make baked potatoes or when I make baked sweet potatoes. I like to butter them, and I use these wrappers, and it's no mess. Plus, you're not wasting anything. So we have 1 cup of soft butter in here, and I've got half a cup of powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, however it's labeled where you're at. And now we're going to just cream these together. And I always scrape down my bowl. Alright, I've got this really nicely creamed together. So I'm going to turn it on low, and I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. What we're going to do is add, and I'm going to do this a little bit gradually, it's 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Before I get all the flour in, I'm going to add 1 cup of finely chopped pecans. Make sure they get well incorporated. Okay, I'm just going to butter my hands slightly. And I stirred this really well to make sure it was completely combined. There were no pockets of butter or anything like that, because I had a couple. So I've buttered my hands with my butter wrappers just to make it a little bit easier to do. And I'm using my small 1-inch scoop, which makes this job so much easier. And you just want to roll these into a good firm ball. You don't want cracks in it or anything like that. So you just make sure that it's well rounded and holding together. And then put it on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. And I've got the oven already preheated to 350 degrees. So I'm just going to finish getting these balls formed and on the baking sheet so we can get them in the oven. We'll come back in just a little bit. Alright, I've got these all rolled out, and this batch made 40 of these approximately 1-inch balls. So I've got the oven preheated at 350 degrees. And anyone, before you say it, that high-pitched sound you hear is my oven fan. I cannot control it. That is part of the system on a Thermador range. So if it bothers you, turn the sound off, or that's your choice, because I cannot control the sound. So I've got 40 cookies here. I'm going to bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 11 to 13 minutes. But what I'm looking for is them to get just very lightly browned. I don't want to overcook these. So I'm going to get them in the oven, and we'll come back when they are ready to pull out. Alright, I baked these. I think mine were close to 13 minutes. But you really just want to watch it closely, because again, you don't want to overbake these. And I let them cool for just a few minutes on the pan, just enough so that I can handle them. They're still pretty warm. And then I have 1 cup of powdered or confectioner's sugar in a big Ziploc bag. And I'm just going to put maybe 3 cookies in there at a time. And just move them around so that they get coated. You don't want to handle it too tough, because you want these to stay together. I'm going to move that back a little bit. And then I'm going to take a fork. And you could do this in a bowl if it's easier. And I'm just going to gently lift them out of the bag, if I don't drop them first. And then I'm going to put them on a cooling rack. And I have one that's kind of a grid, which is great because it keeps them from falling through. So now I'm just going to go through and do this to all of those cookies. And then we'll come back, and after they're cooled, and we'll show you what you do to finish them off. Alright, I've let the cookies completely cool, and now I did not throw away the leftover powdered sugar, because we're going to use this again. So now what we do is just take them and roll them in more powdered sugar, because we want to make sure they're well coated. So I'm going to go back and coat all of these with a second coating of powdered sugar. But let's have a taste and see how they came out. So here we go. They are messy. They're really light and tender and buttery, and the pecan, it's just all so good. Buttery pecan snowball cookies. You need to try them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell to make sure you get all of my videos. God bless, and we'll talk again soon.